ACC just down the road in Durham. The Irish are there. Take on the Blue Devils at number 5. Kansas is in Stillwater.
What's up, guys? Happy Cash Chat Monday. Happy first reporting day for spring training. A lot of Braves regulars are already there. Sean Murphy, Ronald Acuna Jr., Ozzie, Ian Anderson, all of that. So that is very, very good. Raring to go. Ozzie and Ronald revenge tour is going to be great. Some procedure stuff. MLB is keeping the extra inning rule. And there is limitations for position players pitching. You have to up 9, I think, in the 8th inning to be able to pitch, and 10 in the 9th inning for position players to be able to pitch. Obviously, that became a regular thing last year, so they're trying to amend that. And the extra inning rule, I know people don't like it. I'm fine with it-ish as long as it doesn't come into postseason play. I would like the runner to be able to start at first to give the defense a little bit more of a chance, but you also sort of understand it. The time of game, preserving pitchers a little bit more as prevalent as bullpens are nowadays and things of that nature. It's almost maybe a better thing than we think it should be. So I think we've gotten used to the ghost runner, so to speak, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's just how the game's going, and I think you just gotta embrace it. And it's still exciting and all of that. So I think I've started to embrace it. Kevin Pillar was also early arrival to Braves camp. He's been very, very, very excited and outspoken and ready to go. So that is very, very exciting for Braves. And you like your guys that are on a roster bubble to have a chip on their shoulder, so to speak. And Sean Murphy being the newest of the budding stars, it's nice to see him come early. So that is nice as well. Let me make sure I got those pitching. A pitcher may pitch if the game is in extra innings in the 9th inning when trailing by 8 or more. And in the 9th inning, leading by 10 or more. So those are the new position player pitching rules. It did become kind of chronic last year, even though it was entertaining. So that's that. Nobody's in here, so I don't want to It's not really. Jimenez opted out of pitching in the WBC. The reliever we acquired from the Detroit Tigers. So he's totally focused on the Braves, so that's kind of nice. WBC obviously starts March 8th, so I'll cover some of that as well. Yu Darvish signed a 5-year, $108 million contract extension, which is a great value, except that Darvish is 36, and that's a little rich for my blood. And then Christian Javier signed a 5-year, $64 million deal with the Astros extension. Dana Brown learning from the best in Alex Anthopoulos, a team-friendly extension. Everybody seems to be doing it now, and it's totally fine. That's all right. Hi, Hudson. You are the first one in. I was just talking about that they are keeping the Ghost Runner in second, permanent, except for postseason, and then the position player pitching rule was changed. If the game is in extra innings, the position player can pitch. If the team is trailing by 8 or more runs in the 9th inning, or if you're up by 10 or more runs in the 9th inning, that is the only time you can deploy the position player pitching. I also mentioned the early arrivals at Braves camp were a lot of regulars. A lot of regulars: Ozzie, Ronald, Ian Anderson, Sean Murphy. A lot of those are the main guys. Chipper Jones is coming back to the staff, which is probably really nice considering we lost Castro to Jameson to the Chicago White Sox this year. So that's a nice get back, so to speak, to our staff. And Yu Darvish signed a 5-year, $108 million contract, and the value would be better if the Yu Darvish wasn't 36. Very, very interesting from the Padres perspective. And then Christian Javier signing a 5-year, $64 million extension is mega team friendly and mega value. Dana Brown learning from the best. So there was that. The extra inning rules been in for the last couple of years. All the players seem to be fine with it as long as it doesn't go in the playoffs. I think I'm okay with it. I wish the runner would be moved to first base, or at least one straight, the 10th inning straight, and then you make the 11th inning the runner at first, and then the 12th inning you make the runner at second. But that's just, it is what it is. I know it's not baseball, but the players have seemed to adapt it and kind of liked it. So yeah, it's a lot of people don't like it, but I think you just gotta. It also didn't help that the Braves stunk at it the first year of it. But that's just the reality of it. And the players seem to have embraced it, so it is what it is. It's not necessarily baseball, but college softball is doing it. It's just I think it's mostly because the usage of bullpens nowadays. That's how it goes. Because they're so used, they got to be available for. They got to be available for postseason. So I get not liking it. It's not my favorite rule, but that's just is what it is, I guess. And then obviously the position player pitching, I went over that a couple times. I think that's probably needed because it was becoming a epidemic, but we'll see. The new rules. I'll give them all chances for sure. And I will say extra inning games are still exciting, just in a bit of a different way. So yeah. So the Super Bowl was epic last night. The game, I don't think it was holding. But James Bradbury said it was, so I'll believe the guy that was in the play for sure. But Patrick Mahomes being epic is not a surprise. So that Super Bowl is probably the best we've seen in quite some time. I don't know what happened to the Eagles' epic pressure, but that was gone. Jalen Hurts was amazing too. The Eagles just couldn't get any stops in the second half, and that's the mastery and artistry of Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and everybody involved. So that's really, really awesome. Let's see. I think Nestor Cortez is not pitching for the Team USA as he tweaked his hamstring. Alex Reyes signed a $1.1 million deal with the Dodgers. He was a surprise cut by the St. Louis Cardinals, and then there was another deal. I can't think of it though. The Dodgers did it. I believe it was a 1 year, It was 1 year, $8.5 million for. Gosh, I can't think of it. Let's see. Maybe I can find it now. It's gonna annoy me.
Why are there 2 extra seats? I know, Uncle Dan has giant beard. The Volkswagen Atlas with best-in-class third-row legroom. Visit your Volkswagen dealer this President's Day. 2.9%
Andrew Chafin signed a 1-year deal with the Diamondbacks. That's not the one I was thinking of. David Peralta signed a 1-year, $8.5 million deal with the Dodgers as well. So the Dodgers, even though they didn't have their typical break the bank off season, I think they've still had a solid one. That's pretty much all. I did the Darren O'Day interview this week. Check that out if you haven't. Been awesome. It was awesome. The numbers have been awesome, so that's also cool. Really cool experience. And the Hornets have lost 7 straight. Seven straight, and I think this is the 6th time we've lost at least. We've lost at least 4 games 6 times this season. So that tells you how poor we played and just how bad we really are. The trade deadline was crazy. Jameson, I think the Lakers did amazing, but I don't know if you guys have enough time. As long as you get in, you got a chance, obviously. But LeBron with his ankle issue. Sorry, rant. And dinner is just Super Bowl leftovers, so nothing fancy. I understand the irritation. I definitely understand the irritation of it, but I mean, once you try something and everybody seems, I mean, the players seem to have adjusted to it and liked it in some way. I think I can understand it, and I understand the irritation. Again, it's not baseball in some way. It's definitely not normalness of baseball. It's just not, and we know that. But the specialization of bullpens and things of that nature is never going to go away, and you just want to preserve the bullpens and things of that nature. Yes, still runner at second in extras, But as long as they don't put it in postseason, it's fine. Like I said, I would prefer them. Hello, Terry. Like I said, I would prefer if the runner was at first. In the 10th inning. That seems a little more fair to the relievers. But the rule is permanent, and I guess we just got to get used to it. But as long as it's not in the playoffs and it never comes in the playoffs, then I'm okay. Ish. I mean, I get it. It's not going to change now, so. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I think that's everything has to evolve, and it does whether we like the rules or not. And as long as it doesn't come in the postseason, I can live with it. I mean, the players that are playing the rule don't seem to mind it that much. So I'm so cool with that. Yeah, if it comes into the playoffs, then I'll riot. But otherwise, and sorry for I don't know why it got dark. But otherwise, I'm good. So, yeah. Yeah, oh joy, we get that again. I don't think it's been an issue because I think the players, once they got used to it, they adapted to it and didn't necessarily hate it. So yeah, I mean the even though I don't want us to fight another CBA, but there it is. I think Chipper Jones being back on the staff, it's not officially official yet, but I think Chipper being back on the staff is really going to help. Look at what he did with Austin Riley. I think he'll be a help to Vaughn Grisham as well. And I think, honestly, Vaughn is more evolved offensively than Dansby Swanson was at the beginning of his career. So that's huge, and it's going to be fun to see that. I thought I was wrong last week when I said the Braves wouldn't televise any of the spring training games. They're going to televise 7 of them. So that is good. That is fun. So that's amazing. Sorry, watching the Hornets and Hawks right now. So doing double duty. I mean, yeah, I mean maybe, but I feel like it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it now. While I agree with you, there's just games evolve, and like I said, the players seem to have adapted and somewhat enjoy it. I don't know, and there's nothing else we can say on that issue. But the good thing is we got baseball. It's still baseball, and we're gonna have something to talk about and watch for the next 6 to 7, 8 months. So that is the good thing, and there'll be news upon news upon news every single week, every single day. I am a little bit surprised they haven't announced the replacement for Chip Gary yet, but that hasn't come down yet. So that is the
Stream every match live exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Oh, I just read something that the Braves might need a 6th starter coming out of spring training because we have 12 straight games after a day off in April. So that might be a thing. Might be Bryce Elder, Michael Soroka, as he said this week that he would prefer to be called Michael Soroka. So that is, we will definitely accommodate that. As we should, I guess, even though players are kind of finicky with their names, but Michael Soroka it is. And I think Ian Anderson and Mike Soroka have a big time chance to kind of bounce back and come back from injuries. And I haven't actually got a chance to totally sit down and watch the Money Mike video or the Journey video, and I'm really excited to get to do that because he's so amazing, and he's kind of the face of the franchise type guy that you really love and you really appreciate, and he's Atlanta through and through, and Atlanta Braves through and through. So I can't wait to fully watch it. So really excited to watch it. I'm really excited to see Ronald, Ozzie, and Mike, and Spencer Strider. Spencer Strider was another one of the early arrivals today. I knew there was one I forgot. Just really, there's something about kind of like the first day of school type of vibe that the day after the Super Bowl and all of that jazz, and knowing that baseball has the full stage. Very, very, very excited. I can't decide. I think I'm going to make fresh videos for the Braves free agency stuff. And I know I need to get on it real quick because spring training started and stuff. But I think I'm going to use fresh videos instead of the original videos I used when the moves happened. Obviously, a lot of things still can change with rosters and all of that. stuff still. JJ Bleday was traded to the Oakland A's for AJ Puck, which is a very strange trade that Miami would give up on. Own team would give up on JJ Bleday so quickly. And AJ Puck, even though he had some injuries and he's had some injury history, he was very, very solid in 2022. So that was a very interesting trade. If you're going to use AJ Puck as a reliever, I think it makes sense. But giving up on JJ Bleday is kind of really quick considering the Miami Marlins need a lot of offense and they don't have a lot of it in the middle of their order, really. So that was a little strange to me. But a lot of things Miami doesn't make sense to me, but this might actually work out for them. Yeah, AJ Puck is definitely a mystery. He was dominant in Florida. And he was pretty solid, and then welcome back. He had some injury issues, and of course the A's are very interesting indeed fully, and I don't think they're going to be a thing until they get a new stadium and kind of relocate, because every trade, even the Sean Murphy trade, those prospects, none of them were in Keith Law's top 100 prospects. So that's strange. I mean, they were. They're solid. Kyle Muller, Freddie Tarnok. Those are very solid, but if they're not even in the top 100, it's kind of strange to me, and just very, very weird. But is what it is. But if we go six-man rotation, who is your sixth guy? As we stand here right now and no workouts, nothing has happened yet. Mine is, I think Bryce Elder actually wins 5. I think Ian Anderson wins 6. But
throws his head back and just looks entirely worse than it is. It's kind of worse.
5, I think obviously that's going to be one of the best battles to follow. Is the 5-6 rotation spots because of how our schedule lines up at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I think we're only going to go 6 for like the first month, for the first few weeks, because there's so much we have 12 games in 12 days or something with one day off or something random. So you're going to have, especially coming out of spring training, not necessarily stretched out and all that jazz. So that's interesting. And then obviously the left field situation. Yeah. Yeah, and I think I think our rotation is a question. Yeah, a lot of teams are better than the Hornets. A lot of teams are better than the Hornets. Why do the Hawks? I don't know. Sometimes you just have those teams, regardless of. I don't think you want to trade Ian Anderson, even though I get it. In perfect world, they do all do amazing, and we find a way to keep them all. But Ian Anderson has 3 years of control, so it would be. And as for why the Hawks always struggle against the Hornets, teams always have teams they struggle with for no apparent reason whatsoever. It just happens, and that's all I got on that. So is what it is. I don't think the Hornets are gonna win tonight anyway, but that kind of happens no matter in any sport. Like the Braves with the Blue Jays a couple of years ago. Even though the Blue Jays are a solid team, and they were up and coming at the time, we could not beat them in 2021. It's just the unexplainable things that happen in sports. But yeah, I think the only way I would trade Ian Anderson is if we got like a DH left field type that we could extend and that we feel really good about. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we don't have a lot of pitching depth now that we traded most of it in the Sean Murphy deal, so it's always a interesting. Yeah, I mean we would have to fix the DH situation and the left field situation for me to trade it. But I'll trust Alex Anthopoulos no matter what.
We just need to tighten up a little bit defensively to keep Capella off the glass.
Gordon had a really good first half in that game against Denver, and he's done it again. He already has 21 points, leading the team right now. But like you said, George, the Hornets big three. You got LaMelo Ball doing work too.
But obviously, I think
14 points, and then Terry Rozier as well.
Spring training kind of works all of itself out. Performance and knock on wood, not a lot of injuries. But I'm wondering about our infield depth. If we have enough. I mean, you got our normal guys. You got Adani Echeverria, Ehir Adrianza, but there's not a lot of depth and versatility in the infield. I'm wondering if that could turn into an issue. I don't know if it will, but that's something to look at because Elvis Andrews and Jerickson Profar are still out there, and I saw.
Yes, I mean, we're doing a great job talking defensively on the switches, on the communications on pick and roll. Just continue to do that and finish with a big keep Capella.
That's true.
Yep, and Capella, that is what we got a circle on the scouting report. They've been talking about it all day long. And man, the Hornets already.
I mean, I get, and Braden Shoemake, and you got Orlando Arcia. I forgot about him as well. If you're talking infield depth and rotation depth as well, I mean, there's Schuster, Schwallenbach, Owen Murphy, J.R. Ritchie. So there's still a lot of solidness there as well. So I guess I'm talking myself into being nervous about something I don't need to be nervous about yet. So that's probably premature on my part. But that's but that, I mean, it's always going to be interesting, and plus you still got some quality guys probably waiting on some things to be decided in spring training and for their careers and such. You remember wasn't Justin Bohr the one that broke up Shelby Miller's no-hitter? He just retired, and I didn't even realize he was still a thing, so that was kind of weird to scroll through and look on Twitter the other day. So yeah, there's a lot of fun, and yeah, I think he was the one that broke up Shelby Miller's no-hitter in maybe 2015 or 2017. Yeah, I tend my brain tends to think ahead a lot more than I probably should, but it just does for whatever reason. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought Chad Pinder would have been a good get, especially with our infatuation with the A's, but he signed with the Reds a couple of weeks ago, so that option was off the table, unfortunately. But I'll trust Alex Anthopoulos with anything, and even if I don't necessarily understand a move, there's always a method to the madness, and you always gotta understand that. So I really hate that we lost Dana Brown, but I think we did some nice things with the front office too as well. So I think we're set for really good things, and I'm still hoping for the mystery Marcell Ozuna trade or the Max Fried extension to randomly come up. Yeah, yeah, you're right. So that's all we can do is overthink things because I was gonna say, yep. I knew Justin Bohr is like the Chris Taylor because Chris Taylor killed us in the postseason killed us in the postseason, even though we won that series, and he broke up Sean Newcomb's no-hitter. So and that's why I knew Justin Moore that guy annoyed me for some reason. That was the only fun thing that happened that season, because I think we lost 20-21 at some point during that season. And it's weird though. Everybody's doing those team friendly extensions now, and nobody's saying anything. But every time the Braves do it, it's like, oh, it's terrible for baseball, blah blah blah. But the Astros just did it. The Rays did it a couple of times, and the Mets did it with Kevin Pillar, or not Kevin Pillar, Jeff McNeil. So it's kind of just, maybe it's just a Braves bias, or that we started the trend or something, but it's kind of annoying.
Or finding your swimsuit is ready for prime time.
I trust Coach Ron Washington with anything he says. So, and besides, we dealt with growing pains with Dansby Swanson. Why do we think this is going to be any different? And besides, Dansby Swanson was one of the most streaky players in baseball, even defensively early on. So I hope we just allow VG to be VG. Obviously, I hope he makes the plays that he's supposed to make, and holds his own at the plate. But like I said earlier, I think Von Grisham is more polished offensively than Dansby was at this point in his career. So that's just my opinion. Yeah. Then of course Ronald Acuna Jr. Being like the first guy to arrive, and all that everybody's talking about is hoping that he leaves his antics in Venezuela. And I will say I wish he'd tone it down a little bit, but I don't want Ronald Acuna Jr. to change. So yeah, that's true too. And he got his feet wet with the cup of coffee because of the second base injuries last year. So that helps as well, but that's an excellent point, Hudson. So I'm really excited. You know what? I'm really excited. And obviously, I want Von Grisham to take it and run with it and just stranglehold it for the next 5, 10 plus years. That would be amazing. But to think he's not going to have his struggles. Everybody has their struggles. Baseball is too hard for that. But I hope he never loses his confidence. He never loses his swagger. And yeah, and he can just like Michael Harris, he can beat you in so many different ways. And we've done a heck of a job developing our outfielders too, if you think about it, because Andrew Jones has been around, Michael Harris, the head on his shoulders. Yeah, you're right. You put Von Grisham 7th or 8th. Again, the Marcell Ozuna thing is just gonna nag at me. But I don't know what the whole. Although I didn't I didn't like what EY said in one of those like Twitter videos. He said if there was a rule that he wanted to change, it was no showboating in like the first 2 innings if you hit a homer, but in the 7th or 8th inning or 9th inning it would be okay. So I didn't necessarily like that from EY, but everything else I love about EY and how he coaches and teaches and all that stuff. But I mean, you're gonna have your opinions, and older guys in baseball are somewhat hard to change in that aspect. So I'm not trying to throw EY under the bus or anything, but that was a little cringy a bit, just the way, because baseball has evolved. So that was a little icky, but I also understand it because he's old school. They do, and the other interesting thing is I'm wondering which guy in our farm system that's ranked last, and it probably should be, but which guy in our farm system is going to come up and make a huge impact, or make a really impact. Well, yeah, except when Ronald plays against the Marlins. But I agree. I totally agree. I totally agree. And Ronald just is gonna have his routines no matter what. And like I said, I don't want that taken away. I don't want him to stop being himself. So that's
It's a free run to the rim. That's the easiest dunk in traffic you'll probably have all year.
Yeah. Oh, totally agree. And I think we've done a nice job of that. Our guys as a collective group have done a very nice job of. Yeah, that's what you worry about with the Marlins and all of that. But as long as that stuff doesn't happen, I think the Braves have done a nice job of calculating the moment. So I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, he's with the Blue Jays now, I think, as a assistant or something. So I'm not sure, but yeah. So that'll be interesting. And Skip Schumacher as a manager, never seen it, so that should be interesting. So the NL East is going to be a juggernaut as usual, and not playing as many divisional games. Like what it was, it 14. So
Team making a total commitment on the defensive end right now.
No, we don't have our uniform combos yet. At all, and defense is optional in this Hawks Hornets game. It's 83-77 with 8:16 to go in the third quarter. So, I hope we don't get rid of the Reds. Or the navy blue road. Yes. Yes. The troublemakers are going to have a lot of fun this year. And them being at the bottom of the lineup, that makes our lineup even scarier, and it's so much fun to even think about. And some people are worried about Travis d'Arnaud and Sean Murphy dynamic. Trust me, Sean Murphy is going to play a lot, and Travis is going to be fine, and it's going to all work itself out. But again, all of us trying to piece everything together, but we do know it still takes about 50, 60, 70 guys to actually get a championship done. So there's gonna be some unsung heroes. Kyle Wright coming off his amazing year. It's going to be interesting to see how he string it together. I think he can. It'll be interesting to see if Charlie Morton can bounce back. He was actually going to be my number one comeback player, and then I remembered Ozzy. So I think you could make the argument Michael Soroka, Ozzy Albies, and Charlie Morton. Even though Charlie Morton didn't have a bad year, his home run rate was absolutely insane for his typical career, and that's also. I wonder if.
Oh, sure. For just $5. Try my $5 jackpack today.
Yeah, I agree. So that the Travis Sean Murphy dynamic, I'm definitely not going to freak out about. Really excited because every platoon, every catching duo that we've come up with and had, that's a position I've never had to worry about, and this year it's at its best, so there's no reason for the worry there at all, in my opinion. Derek Carr was released. Switching a bit to football because I just got that notification. He'll be released tomorrow. I really don't want the Panthers to do that. He rejected a trade to the Saints. I really don't want the Panthers to do that. I just want us to go young. I don't know that we will, but there is that. But yeah, I'm really excited about how excited the guys seem to be, and obviously the World Baseball Classic is kind of in the middle of that. But I'm just really excited that the hunger. I wonder what our celebration is going to be, and I hope I can do it after we win games. But yeah, just super, super excited. But yeah, catching duos. But I think our rotation, obviously having Max this year and next year helps. But I think the depth and some contract extensions there would make me feel a little bit better. But
now everybody has their individual position coach, and it is valuable around the league. Oh, you see big men doing things going with two hands. Before the game, it's amazing what some of these guys can do. We're talking 7-foot guys. Our part of coaching is keep it fresh. You got to fix something, got to trick these guys every day.
But
do stuff to challenge them. They're so good. They make hard stuff look easy. You got to keep them challenged, keep them focused.
it's pretty much all I've got. He rejected a trade to the Saints, but apparently the Saints are still an option for him. I really don't want the Hornets to do it. I mean, the Panthers, rather. Washington, the Jets, Tampa, maybe, for Derek. But he's definitely not worth $40 million. So we'll see contract-wise what he gets, but the contracts are insane. So it's definitely going to be interesting, and it's I think the NFL offseason is always interesting because you never know where quarterbacks are going, and there's so much quarterback movement, and there's going to be even more than typical. And that's you don't even have, and Tom Brady is not even in the mix anymore, so it's going to be very, very interesting. I know it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see what Atlanta does. And if you're completely sold on Ritter. But yeah, the NFC South is kind of wide open. We don't have a lot of money to spend, and we got to make some decisions, so it's going to be interesting. But I love the staff we're putting together, and I'm happy about that. And there's and there's finally light at the end of the tunnel for the Panthers to finally be an NFL team again. Because Matt Rule made a mockery of us, and I did not appreciate that. So You mean the NFC South title? But yeah, I think Ritter has some tools. But I really, the two people that I don't want us to do is Derek Carr for the Panthers and Will Levis. Those are the two that I have the most reservations about.
My name is Anna Murray, and I was hurt on the job. So I called the office
And
the mayor, and they took it away and gave me life. And they excited when they told me I would get the care I needed.
And the new teams that I really have decided that I don't like in hockey, I know I'm switching here, is the New York Rangers because they busted up the Carolina Hurricanes winning streak twice, and the Boston Bruins. So those two are.
The 2023 Toyota Corolla. 15.9% APR for 36 months on 2023 Toyota Corolla. Toyota. Let's go places.
I got injured at work, but after contacting the Mayo Law Office, it just gave me that sense that not only I have a attorney working on my side, I also made friends.
If you've been hurt on the job,
Yeah.
call the Mayo Law Office. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
No worries. I make so many like. Yeah, I think Ryan Tannehill. You might want to pull a plug on Ryan Tannehill. I don't know. That's
Coming period really helps create those great habits.
Yeah, Panthers I think only had. I think we're $2 million over the cap, so there's going to be some moves. Yeah, for sure. I think the Falcons are getting there. I told you he would be. I told you Dennis Daly would be. No, it was not. I mean, I was disappointed in the fact that we were kind of forced to trade CMC, but I'm happy where he got, and I'm happy we got the value and all of that stuff. And I think it worked out for both sides. And obviously, we'll see if it actually worked out for us with the value and how the draft goes. But no, I can't remember. I think he had a couple of years left. Because we were going nowhere fast. And you got to get the value, and CMC, I love him, but he gets hurt a lot. We were going nowhere fast, and he had the most value, and Matt Rule kind of ruined the whole process and the whole thing, and that's why it felt like we needed to trade Christian McCaffrey, and I'm happy where he went, and I think it's a win-win trade for both sides. Obviously, it depends on what we do with the draft picks, but other than that, I think it was much needed. And Hudson, I think he had a couple of years more control. That's why we're kind of up against the cap because the money still counts toward your cap, even though you trade a guy. So that's why we're kind of stuck up against the cap. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's right. So that's why we're kind of up against whatever. But I think even though it hurts to trade one of the best players in the league, but we kind of had to, and once we did, it kind of opened us up weirdly, but it is what it is. But no, he's my least favorite coach ever. He's like my least favorite coach ever, and this may sound really petty, but I hope it's about as a dumpster fire as it is, as it was here with Nebraska. I really do, and
That means Atlanta is now 17 for 17 at the free throw line. But individually, there is a person in the building who wore a Hawks uniform who once went 23 for 23 all by himself. You know what that is?
Yeah, so Matt Rule, I do really hate him. Not hate, but really, really dislike him. And I'm glad I can be happy to be excited about football again, no matter what happens. It feels like we're creating a good staff and things of that nature. I did want to ask a question. Do you guys? I mean, I know I do spring training recaps anyway. But do you guys want daily reports about spring training, even if there's no games? But that'll be my last question. And somehow we got an hour out of this conversation with not much to talk about, so that's always a good thing. I don't know that there will be every reports that I can do about him every day, but I'll try. Yeah. All right. I will do that. Great conversation, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps out a lot. Always. Appreciate it. I've got a lot of ideas in the works, so hopefully I can execute them and get them out to you, because my channel's on a bit of a heater right now and it's really exciting. No, I'm not eating Arby's. I am eating Super Bowl subs, carrots, and chips.